We now have a national warning here in the United States that experts believe the American people will be threatened over the next week, specifically on Tuesday. I want to break down what's going on, which state or states is actually sending the National Guard, deploying the National Guard to protect their residents. I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I want to keep you safe. I want to make sure that we are here to live another day. Well, here's what we know. The National Guard troops are on standby in Washington State, Oregon, and Nevada as a precaution for potential election unrest. This is just as of yesterday, as of Saturday, November 2nd. Well, guess what? We are now hearing there's reports of more states calling on the National Guard to be deployed to ensure that their citizens are perfectly safe, that there is no election unrest coming on Tuesday, potentially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so on. According to many officials, the FBI included, they are saying that right now we are going to see threats. We are going to see warnings, hoaxes. These are going to happen leading up to the election, which is on November 5th, this coming Tuesday, and it can go all the way until January 20th. Now look at this. This is what I think is interesting. It says police and poll workers are training for a possible election threat. Here's what's concerning about what we are seeing. And this is why I want to give you this warning. Police for months have been told to prepare, be ready, because this is going to be one of the biggest elections we have ever had in the United States. We have former President Donald Trump up against our current Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, Democrats say that Kamala Harris is the best, the most logical choice. But again, she was only picked, okay? She was only chosen just a couple of months ago. And she was only chosen because current President Joe Biden, okay, who was the previous vice president under Barack Obama, well, he decided to withdraw and step down. Many people are still upset because they said that was our president. He was our president, not her. We didn't pick her. We picked him. We voted for him. And now he's deciding to walk away. Now, I want to read this to you. Okay, I want to read a little bit of this article to you because we are now seeing more states are deciding to deploy the National Guard to protect their citizens. Keep that in mind, that over the next week, there's a very high chance we see some election unrest, some political unrest. That's what we are expecting. Let's read a little bit of this. It says, ahead of potential civil unrest due to Tuesday's presidential election, the National Guard is on standby as a precaution in several states, including Washington State and Oregon, where hundreds of ballots were damaged or destroyed after at least 3 ballot drop boxes were recently set on fire. I reported on that just last week. It says almost all the ballots set ablaze on Monday were in a drop box in Vancouver, Washington, while most ballots in a drop box in Portland, Oregon survived a fire set the same day. It said the incidents are believed to be connected to a third fire on October 8th, also in Vancouver. It says Portland police released a physical description of a suspect, but said they've not identified him. Goes on to say, Washington Governor Jay Inslee addressed the ballot box fires in a news release Friday announcing the National Guard being placed on standby, saying that the southwest region of Washington State has already experienced specific instances of election-related unrest. Now, we don't know how many National Guard troops will be deployed, but they will be deployed. According to reports, multiple states are not wanting to risk a potential disaster on election day. Keep this in mind. We have Vice President Kamala Harris versus our former President Donald Trump. Many Democrats were trying to get former President Donald Trump off the ballot. They didn't want him even there, didn't want his name seen, didn't want him as an option. And it's all because of what happened in the last election. Now, I want to be very clear on something. It doesn't matter who you vote for this coming election. According to experts, according to the FBI, according to Department of Homeland Security, there is a lot of concern that there will be some type of an attack, a potential disaster at a protest. There's a very high chance of that. So, according to many police, they are, especially any law enforcement official, they are saying that do not attend protests. Don't attend a protest because that is where we are likely going to see a disaster, a massive crisis unfold right before our eyes. Now, the National Guard, what can they really do? Well, they're here to just protect us, ensure that police are not overrun. According to multiple reports just out today, there's many police stations, especially in some of the bigger cities like Seattle, Washington, New York, okay, Los Angeles, California. There are many police officers that are concerned that they do not have the people to even contend this, to even slow down a riot. And so what they are saying is that the National Guard not only needs to be deployed, but they need to have, well, a lot of power to stop any potential riot, any unrest that we may see. So, I just wanted to share this with you because, again, today is Sunday, November 3rd. We have 2 days until the presidential election. This could be the biggest election we have ever seen. Now, what comes out of this, who is elected as the next president of the United States, well, we don't know that yet. And many experts believe we will not even know that on November 5th. We will have to wait until potentially November 6th, 7th, or 8th before we finally get an idea of who is going to be the next president. There may be recounts, okay? There may be some, who knows, this could go to the courts. We have no clue, but it's all happening in the next week. So, as we get more information as to what is going on, who could potentially be the next president, how the American people are going to be impacted, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, all I ask is for everybody to stay safe. Okay? If you see something, say something, and be aware of what everyone's doing. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.